Good morning or afternoon if you're on the East Coast, and welcome to Timer Tip Tuesday. A couple of housekeeping things before we do get started. There is a spot in the control panel where you can ask questions. We have staff, Shelly and Matt Avery on the back end answering those throughout if you have questions. Otherwise, we will open up the floor a little bit at the end. If you haven't done one of these before, just a note, we do record this and are recording this, and you'll get a copy of that as well as the slides afterwards. And we do have a document for you that we'll highlight later on in this presentation that Shelly will drop in the chat, and we'll also send you with those slides and recording. So welcome to new Timer Onboarding. My name is Soren Larson. I'm a Senior Technical Account Manager here at RunSignup, and often answer your questions. All right, who is this for? This is intended for new support staff that established timers have hired, people who are maybe new to this company or new to this side of events. This will give you an introduction to the race and timing industry as well as technology that we at RunSignup have. It's a good first step in onboarding, and this might be something if you are a lead timer or in charge of the timing for your organization, something that you'll want to use as a resource for either current or future staff additions. This is not necessarily for existing and experienced timers, and this is not designed to teach people how to be a timer. Our staff is a great resource for timers and for race directors and our products. So we're always here to answer those questions if you have them. But if this is kind of like your first time for anything, I would choose a different route initially. On today's agenda, we're going to have a general introduction to the timing industry and cover some terms both for the industry itself and those that are more specific to RunSignup. We're going to talk about the RaceDay real-time product suites. We're also going to cover a little bit about the timer account and timer dashboard and cover some more resources that are at your disposal here at RunSignup. First off, just so that we're all on the very, very same page, what is a race? A race is something with a start and a finish and some stuff in between. In this case, we would refer to the stuff in between as course. The start is the central location for participants to officially begin the course. Some races do have a timed start. Sometimes they call that a chip start. Others might not. They might refer to that as a clock start or a gun start. The course is usually an officially measured and marked course of a set distance. They'll have volunteers and police along the course guiding participants and protecting them from traffic. Along the course, you may also find aid stations, water stops, entertainment, and timing equipment put out there on the course are referred to as splits. The finish, again, is the official finish location for participants to complete the course. If it's a chip-timed race, almost all races will have some sort of timing equipment at the finish line. Why are events timed? Participants are timed to compete with each other, to compete for prizes, to compete for personal records, which are referred to as PRs. Timing provides a way for participants to get official results, for us to publish results for the race to see from year to year. It's a way for us to award finishers, and it's also a way to provide a great deal of additional reporting that is very useful for events. It's also something that a lot of participants look for when they're signing up for an event, whether or not it will be chip timed or not. Times are also used to qualify for other events on the local, national, or international level, as well as records, and timing data is also used to drive other experiential parts of the race day experience. A timer, which is hopefully you all, someone who provides a variety of services to event organizers, with the core service being the timing. Other services that timers provide include course certification, start and finish equipment, barricades, on-site support, promotional items like shirts, marketing services, consulting services. But at the end of the day, timers provide the data for the race results. They review and confirm the validity of that data, adjust it as needed, and raise any concerns for potential invalid performances. Some timers also own their own events. Others are just purely timing and kind of everything in between there. But the main thing that a timer does is solve problems for participants and organizers. It's very important that timers be experts in the technology that they're providing, because these participants and organizers are going to be looking to you as the timer as their technology expert. So a quick introduction to the scoring technology here. The process for all this would be that there's a chip of some kind attached to a participant that transmits data using radio frequencies when crossing timing lines. That chip data, those reads are collected by timing hardware, decoders and antennas with the unique code to that chip, and applies the timestamp coming from the hardware. This information stored on that hardware, sometimes it is connected to locally, other times it goes over the internet to scoring software, which is used to interpret that raw timing data, meaning the read data for the chip and the timestamp from the hardware. That is paired with participant information in the database and used to create reports and results. The timer reviews these reports and results and adjusts the data as needed. And finally, these results are distributed through multiple forms, such as printing, hopefully not printing as much anymore, but also websites and apps like RaceDay. Event timing. As the participant's chip crosses timing lines, the data is received and transmitted to the scoring software. Event timing can be just a finish line. It can be a start and a finish line. It can be a start and finish line splits. It can be announcer lines. It's basically anything that is using that chip data to provide either results or experiential feedback. Chips, the first step in chip timing. Usually nowadays, these are either a chip that's applied to the back of the bib or a chip that is worn in the shoe or around the ankle. These transmit a unique code to the hardware there. Bib numbers have to be assigned to the participant in order for an event to be scored. We're basically combining two pieces of data: participant information, which drives things like age group results and reporting based on data fields, and then the time data. And the way that those two are merged together is with the bib number. So timers need to make sure that bib numbers are assigned correctly and accurately to all of the participants. Each race will have their own bib assignment strategy. Some will have different number ranges for different distances or events. Others may assign bibs dynamically, which we'll talk about a little bit more later on. Some known hardware providers: MyLapse, RFID, iPico, ChronoTrack, Race Results, Trident, Finish Links, Jaguar, J-Chip, and Winning Time. You can see in the middle there, MyLapse products on the right. That looks like Race Results right there. There's also a large number of scoring softwares out there. Top one on the list, obviously, is RaceDay Scoring, which we at RunSignup support and encourage you to use. There's also the Race Director, RunScore, ChronoTrack, Race Result, MyLapse. The list goes on and on for all of these, both hardware and software. Race Results themselves are the official result publishing. Each timer or event will use different ways to distribute these, whether it's a web page, email, SMS, push notification, event kiosk, or printouts. Push notifications would come from an app like Race Results. So the timer sets up the results and publishes them in a timely and accurate manner. So some terminology here so that we're all on the same page. These next couple pages are going to be a lot of information. I would encourage you to review them more once you've received the slides after this, because we're not going to cover each and every one of these terms, but they are important so that we're all on the same page. And it's also important to understand some of these terms and be able to communicate with them, as it will make support go a lot faster if we're not having to clarify things quite as much. A couple industry terms that I'd like to highlight here. Reads, which would be the timestamp of the RFID code stored in the decoder matched with that chip's code. Miss is what happens when a read should occur but does not. The number one reason for that would be a blocked signal. Most RFID, or at least passive RFID, is not going to read through water. The human body is mostly water. So when people cover their bib with their arm starting or finishing the race to get their time on their watch, that's probably why you have a miss. Decoders themselves, the time-synced computer, which powers mats, antennas, and loops, and stores the time data. RFID, just to clarify that, that's radio frequency identification, and that's what most chip timing is using. A couple others that we will highlight a lot or talk a lot about would be mats, antennas, and loops. Those are the pieces of timing hardware that, in concert with the decoder, some people will refer to them as a box, create the hardware piece of this. Quick highlighting of the participant statuses, because this translates into a lot of questions about what state a participant might be in. Would be DNF is did not finish, DNS is did not start, DNQ is does not qualify, DQ is disqualified, and then drop is dropped out of the race. It's similar to DNF, but this is usually self-reported or reported by a course official. Middleware is another term that will come up a handful of times here. Middleware is software that bridges the gap between the scoring software and the hardware itself. Some platforms can function as both. Reports would be an output of timing data. The format can vary on that, whether it's a spreadsheet to a printed result or a dynamic and searchable result set. Let's see, manual backup, that's another important term for timing. Manual backup is a little bit different than a backup timing system, in that manual backups are taken by hand using pen and paper, mobile timing app, or a Summit or time machine system. And these manual backups are used to compare against the chip reads to make sure that both order and time of day are correct across the board there. Let's see. Some other notes on there worth looking at would be getting into kind of stuff you'd see in reporting. Age groups would be the competition groups that participants are put in based on age and gender. This one we will dive into a little bit more in depth. These are RunSignup terms. These may be used in different contexts for you and in what you're used to, or in your timing company. They might vary a little bit, but making sure that we're all on the same page when we're talking about some of these is going to be pretty important. In RunSignup terms, race is the overarching big bucket feature of RunSignup. This is the entire day or days of events that make up the race. Events would be the smaller bucket options that a race offers. For example, if you had an 8K and 1 mile, those would both be events within the overarching race. Giveaway is typically something that's given away for free for promotional purposes. It's usually a shirt or some kind of swag like that. Add-ons would be paid items, maybe a pint glass or something like that participants can optionally purchase. Dashboard is the back end of a page on RunSignup where you can make changes and view information. The wizard is the basic setup flow for getting a race up to speed on RunSignup. That's one that we will highlight a couple times in here. RDS, if we talk about RDS, that is the abbreviation for race day scoring. RSU is the common abbreviation for RunSignup. Another important one here is an occurrence. An occurrence is a chip read that is used by race day scoring. For example, there may be many reads for a participant at the start line, but the last one seen would be the used occurrence or used read at the start. API gets tossed around a lot. It's an application programming interface. RunSignup is open source and offers connections to our API so that advanced users can program and build custom applications. If you're part of a larger organization, you may see some of those pieces that are very specific to what you do. It's a great way to personalize your setup using RunSignup. Another one that we want to highlight here is group and team. These are collections of individual participants under a shared group or team name. RunSignup usually refers to these as groups. On the scoring side, this is typically referred to as teams, and that falls under two categories. Relay team, so think of 4x400 meter relay in the Olympics, where individual results are considered legs of the relay, and the individual is only competing for the team as a whole. So it's a relay if there's a literal or figurative baton passed along the course by the team. The other format for team scoring is aggregate. This is the scoring for teams that's calculated by adding the times of X number of team members together and either doing an average or a total time or a point system for this. All individuals on a team are often on the course at the same time, and individual results are often available as well as the team's collective results. Check-in, that marks that a participant has been given their bib or giveaway or add-on, or that tickets have been taken. Bib assignment would be matching a bib number to a participant's registration data. There are a number of different ways that this can happen, and it often varies heavily race by race, but there's manual assignment, which is where you would use perhaps a spreadsheet and import that. But there's also dynamic assignment, which you'll probably hear a lot. Dynamic assignment is when bib numbers are assigned to the participants as they receive the bib. So they're in line, unassigned, and then when the participant checks in, they're assigned a bib number, which connects that bib and chip to their registration information. There's also automatic bib assignment, which is when bib numbers are assigned at the time of registration. Another term that you may hear in the timing world is a super and sub event. Super event includes multiple sub events. A participant in a super event is considered in any applicable sub events. So for example, if you had a 5K and 10K, and then you had a challenge event as the super event, anyone in that challenge event would be in both the 5K and 10K sub events. Kiosk is a device that is used for participants to interact with registration or results data. You can set those up in race day scoring. You can use the check-in as a results kiosk. You may be using the RunSignup API to do something else with a very customized kiosk. Corrals are a subgrouping of participants with different assigned start times within the same event. Bidirectional sync is a very important one in the RunSignup world. The bidirectional sync is the way that the synchronization of data between RunSignup platforms and other race day tools handles a single database there. The most recent change is reflected across all versions of this. So it's a really cool setup where everyone's working with the same database at once, which means that there's not this loss of data or need to rectify data across multiple different iterations of your database. And finally, timer certification. These are courses that are available for timers to learn more about specific products and receive official certification status and badges from RunSignup. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. This is graphic here is worth looking at. This is kind of tying back into that bidirectional sync. This is the RaceDay real-time suite of technology. And all of these are working together You don't necessarily need to use all of them, but you have the option to use all of them and have them all operating off of the same information. In this suite of products, the RaceDay scoring would be our scoring software. It's a planned replacement for the race director. It's compatible with all major chip systems and has that two-way sync with the RunSignup platform, as well as subsequently the pieces tied to that platform, such as results and photos in the check-in app. It's a very easy to learn product, and it's ideal for timers new to the industry. This is a much more user-friendly interface than what a lot of you might think of when you hear timing or when you've seen timing. This really does allow you to teach newer timers and get them up to speed, and then go well above and beyond that with advanced features there. This can go for anything from the simplest race that you can set up race day morning, please don't do that though, to very, very complex events with lots of splits and needs for reporting there. Another piece here, and just a note on these, if you see the Learn More button on the next couple slides, when you get these slides, you can click that and it will take you to the main page on RunSignup for more information, webinars, and guides on the given product. This is the RaceDay check-in app. It's a free tool for RunSignup registration customers. It expedites the check-in process for participants and volunteers. You can use QR codes for even faster check-in. You can customize what information is shown there so that you have a pretty granular control over how things are working. That you can check in participants and volunteers with the same app, and this data syncs to RunSignup in real time to ensure up to the minute participant lists and bib assignments. So if you're using RaceDay scoring or even other scoring softwares that interface with RunSignup, you can have that database immediately. That's a really great way to be able to handle new registrations, walk-up registrations, dynamic assignment, all without really having to rectify different databases across everything. I think outside of registration, this is just about the coolest thing that RunSignup does, and one that I think most of you will have interacted with on one end of the timing world or the participant world. RaceDay Real Time is our event day mobile app. It's available exclusively through RaceDay certified timers. So if you do want to offer RaceDay, you do need to get certified on that. That is a requirement because we want you to understand what you're using and how to support your races with that. There's two types of tracking in RaceDay. There's chip-based progress alerts, which are sent in through the hardware on the course as splits. And then there's also the continual GPS-based tracking, where alerts and map view can be driven by participants who carry their phone. It is required that participants carry their phone for the GPS option. Now, this offers monitoring and verification tools. One of the coolest things that I see timers do with this is they put the monitoring screen up on a TV display so that people can see on the map all the participants moving down through the course. We've had over 2 million users with RaceDay. Just a note on RaceDay itself, this is something that is free to offer as a timer if the race's registration is on RunSignup. Otherwise, there is a $750 fee, and we do require you to have things set up a little bit further in advance there. So RaceDay is definitely one where if you haven't given it a thought before or are very curious about it, definitely learn more on this one, especially with the new chip-based progress alerts that are out. RaceDay Mobile Timing is our mobile timing app, which is, again, free to use. This is a way to manually time smaller or remote events. Think like an ultra marathon or a small cross-country event using a shoot timing mode. kind of like a digital version of the popsicle stick method of timing back when. You can also use this as a backup or verification for larger events. This does integrate directly with RaceDay scoring with a file system. And some kind of creative uses. You could use this as a split point for low density events in addition to your chip timing hardware. Some platform features, again, these are all hyperlinks that go out to the different pieces, but just so that you're aware of some of the other options that the timing company that you're working with or races may want. Digital bibs and finisher certificates, video results, which is where participants can see themselves on video as they finish post-race, SMS and email notifications, which are customizable, RaceDay photos, which are tagged using the bib number automatically on our platform, and then the RunSignup results. So now I do want to highlight the Timer certification program. We offer 4 different certification courses through video recording for you to complete on your own. We also do webinar sessions like this that we record for these. Once you have passed a certification, you receive an official badge for marketing communication purposes. And also you will see designations in the RunSignup timer search. Those timers that have all 4 certifications show first in the search. And just another reminder that RaceJoy certification is required to offer RaceJoy. So where does certification go? Where do you see these pieces? This would be in the timer dashboard. So we're going to talk a little bit about this in the context of you being new timers, either to a company that's on RunSignup or transitioning a little bit to RunSignup where you haven't heard some of this stuff before. What's the purpose of a timer account? It provides access, limited access to events that you'll be working with using both the RunSignup dashboard and RaceDay scoring. When I say limited, it's something that's important for you to understand that this gives you a level of access needed to time these races and produce results, but it also doesn't put the organizers in any position of sharing too much information there. So if your race director is unsure, you can definitely talk to them about what kind of access that is, but timer access is required for some of these integrations. So you no longer have to deal with emailed databases back and forth. You no longer have to figure out which copy of the database you're looking at. And you can be, you just would have access through your timer account there. You can also add secondary users to your timer account so that they have the same level of access there. This can be done on step 1 of the race wizard. Again, if you're a new timer to an existing timing company, you will want to talk to your managing timer to get you set up as a secondary user of the timer account on RunSignup. How do you create a timer account? If you haven't done that before, runsignup.com/timer, and then click here. You'll fill out a form there with that timer account. Just an important note there, the timer name is your timing company name. So only do this if you're a new timing company on RunSignup. Otherwise, again, you'll want to be added as a secondary timer there. In your RunSignup account, when you click on the profile icon in the upper right-hand corner, if you have a timer account associated with the RunSignup account, you will see the option timer there to go to your timer account page. If you are needing to be added as someone with secondary access, you would go in the timer account to settings, access, and then you can invite the participant or the timer to accept that access via their email that the RunSignup account is under. If you need to find your account, again, going from the profile in the upper right-hand corner, click the icon, click timer, and then you will be able to go to dashboard on that timer account or accounts if you have multiple. For communicating with race directors, how to be added as a timer for a race, it's on step 1 of the race wizard at the very bottom. They will be able to invite you either by searching for your company name or the email that your account is under. Some quick troubleshooting for your account. I don't see the timer option under my account. If you're the primary timer or company owner, first question, have you created a timing account? If yes, log back out and log back in. If no, create a timer account. If you're not the primary timer or company owner, just a reminder to ask to be added as a secondary timer or check your email for invites that you need to accept. If you've been added and don't see it, log out, log in, and make sure that you're using the email that the timer secondary access was sent to for your RunSignup account. Managing your account, once you're in this, again, clicking profile and then timer, you can view the list of races that are associated with that timer account. From there, you can go through actions to assign bibs, upload results, assign corrals, handle some registration, some check-in options, and go through timer fees if that's something that you have set up. You'll also be able to see your scoring statistics and direct links to them, as well as links to the dashboard on RunSignup. With the timer account, there is the option to download software from here. We have the Race Director download available there, as well as the RaceDay scoring software. RaceDay scoring is a $199 annual fee, and that covers support and updates. We do update often, and we do have a demo version available as well. That annual fee covers your entire timing company for the software license, which you will see if you go into software. The next step below, download to license management. You'll be able to see that license that's applicable to your entire timing organization. If you need to purchase a subscription or want to find the demo version, you'd go down to purchase subscription, and then your options are under the purchase type there. Timer info, again, you can update this as needed and choose the service areas where you are operating as a timer. Excuse me. In the timer information, you'll be able to see the user skills for yourself and the secondary owners of your timing account, as well as who's on there. So you may want all of your secondary timers to get certified on these different skills, and this is a good place to check that and just have an overarching view of where your certification is at for different people on your timing account. Do keep in mind that that once one of your timers has the certificate, it's applicable to your entire organization there. And then there's API keys. This is where you'd have your API documentation and keys for setting up those integrations if you are a more advanced user or interested in doing something like that. I'm going to breeze through the financial piece. There's kind of an assumption here that you're joining existing organizations, but if you are new to RunSignup and still haven't set up your financial piece of your timing account, these slides are available. So I'm just going to fly through those real quick. All right, some new timer resources. It's really important to you as a new timer with RunSignup to understand that we have a ton of help, not just the certification courses, but also a lot of documented help, a lot of ongoing training, webinars like this, and a lot of support personnel who are at your disposal there. The RunSignup Timer Certification program is probably the best place to start for a high-level overview, some how-to, and just some knowledge and experience using the different pieces of the platform. So if you're wondering where to start, or if you're wondering where to start new and future timers for your organization, the certification program is a great place for them to get familiar with all the pieces of the platform. We also have a RunSignup onboarding guide that we've put together here. This is going to be a dynamic document and will grow and change over time. But it's a repository of different resources, as well as like a list of how much time it takes to do that piece of the training or reading. So you can work with your timing manager to determine kind of what the priority is. They may want to generate their own checklist based off of this, saying like, okay, I want you to go through this onboarding process, and you know, once you've read this document, we can check that off. And so they might build a modified version of their own. If you are a managing timer and want to set something up like that, please reach out to us and we can kind of help walk you through that. It's a little bit a modified version of kind of a similar onboarding process to what I went to joining RunSignup here. So I believe Shelly's going to drop that in the chat or the resources. And we will also send that to you post webinar. In product help, if you're on, oh, what's that, Shelly?
It's in the chat.
All right, thank you. The in product help, anytime you see that orange help button, it's going to take you to the how to and the help repository specific to the page and the pieces that you're seeing there. Honestly, you can just Google RunSignup and whatever you're trying to accomplish, and it's well documented there as well. We also have support contacts here. RunSignup support, info@runsignup.com is going 7 days a week. We also have RaceDay scoring support at RaceDay@runsignup.com, and that also has support 7 days a week. You can open a help ticket from RaceDay scoring, which will send a backup of the race that you're working on to us to work through with you as well. So this is all free. This is all part of being part of the RunSignup experience here. But also do refer back to those terms, just that we are all talking about the same thing when we say race and event and so forth. If you are not sick of me yet, you can also schedule training one-on-one with me via that calendar link down at the bottom there. So whether it's just I want to review this race setup, whether it's I'm trying RaceDay scoring in a transition from different software, whether it's I ran into this in a race this past weekend, or if you just want to understand stuff in a little bit deeper manner, that is a great way to do that if that's more to your learning style. For further training, we have a lot of webinars like this one. We have recorded YouTube sessions. So check out the knowledge base tab on our website for more resources there, or our YouTube channel. Again, there's the one-on-one training. If you are interested in doing group training, I just want to highlight having done this with iTry365 recently, where we got together with the full group and talked through the workflow as it is set up for their specific organization. So group training is available. We do ask that you do a pre-training meeting so that the managing timer and us on the RaceDay team can make sure that we understand your workflow, understand the process, and then kind of tailor that large group meeting to what your needs might be. Blogs and newsletters, if you're not already, I highly recommend subscribing to info.runsignup.com/blog. You'll get software updates, best practices for technology, and new announcements. We also do kind of more targeted newsletters to summarize those updates. So you might want the timer newsletter to have it a little bit more tailored to the timing world for you. Again, the monthly timer newsletter has all the recent product updates, industry updates, event and new and feature news tailored to timers, both in the products that we just discussed there and the timing world in general. So we do have another Timer Tip Tuesday training coming up on October 1st, where we'll talk about custom race websites for timers. Thanks for joining us. Does anybody have any questions there? Is there anything in the chat that you want us to grab there, Shelley?
Someone had asked if they could test out RaceDay scoring.
Yep, you sure can. If you go back to the timer account to the download page there, or to the subscription page, there is a place for you to download the demo version there and give that a whirl.
And then they wanted to know how much it would cost for RaceDay scoring.
It's RaceDay scoring license is $199 annual fee. That covers the support and the updates. And that also covers the entire organization. There's a single license for the entire organization.
So someone asked, this is slightly off topic, but looking for help, suggestions to finding staff to help.
Great way to find staff. If you know someone who really likes waking up early, who is not opposed to traveling to possibly the middle of nowhere as a hobby, that's a great one. But probably a easier way to find folks. I really like to talk to coaches. Generally, if you're in the timing world, you might be kind of connected to maybe various coaching organizations, and they might have someone on their team that is looking for a gig post-college. So coaches are a great resource. If you have friends who are either running inclined or technology inclined, those are pretty good people to tap for that. And then teachers tend to be really interested in timing, both because I think they're very good in that more chaotic environment, but also, you know, their weekends are free, their summers are free, and they're going to be able to articulate how they learn pretty well. Again, my favorite, probably going to a coach and saying, hey, is there anyone on the team that you think would be interested in this?
Great. And James, this is probably for you, but what type of enhancements are coming down the pike? I think you're muted. I'm not hearing you. I guess I could try to take it.
Sure.
Wing it. So we will have some upcoming webinars to cover any kind of new enhancements that are coming your way. We do continually have new updates on RaceDay scoring, and we put out a monthly kind of update that you can look at to see, like, you know, what are kind of the newest improvements on that. And then James can speak to, like, you know, what else you want to do.
So the big next two things that we're working on from a kind of a longer term R&D. So we have the mobile timing app, which Soren kind of described a little bit today. We're working on bringing photo capture into that tool. So it's a Timer Tools app, and you'll be able to set up, you know, stations and have it automatically kind of submitting photos directly to the RunSignup photo platform and using that as an app. So it could be used for both backup finish line photos or even at different stations. So that's a big area that we're really focusing on right now. And then on the RaceDay scoring side, there's a big effort that's been going on for last year. We're getting closer on is series scoring. So if you do a series across multiple events and using, you know, a point system and being able to have that aggregate across the series, that'll be something that's supported more easily using RaceDay scoring as the actual piece of software that actually produces that point.
Great.
If you haven't done it yet,
like I said, go ahead.
I was just gonna remind everybody, if they haven't looked into it much yet, to look at the new RaceDay scoring and RaceJoy integration. Kevin and Andrew put out some really good videos for people who might not step yet, or might be looking into getting into that world of really elevating the participant experience and spectator experience.
Yeah, that's probably our biggest product announcement this year is the chip timing alerts in RaceJoy. So definitely look into that. And it's definitely it's a very easy process because of the integration with RaceDay scoring. And it's very easy for the participants. They just have to do the race. So someone did ask if they attended the certification webinar for the check-in app, but they weren't able to complete it and do the test. What do they need to do to complete it? If you go to that certification page on RunSignup's website, it's under the timer area. If you look for certification, then the quiz will be there, and you just link to that. If you aren't able to find it, then you can just email us at info@runsignup.com, and we'll send you the link to the quiz.
Mm-hmm. And then I also see a question in there about looking at specific setups. Best way to do that, either if you just want the setup looked up, use the get help function in RaceDay scoring in the upper right hand corner and send it back up in with your questions. Or if you learn better or would like to go over things in person, in quotes, using that calendar link there. Hey, Shelly, can you drop the calendar link in the chat too? And just booking some one-on-one time.
Okay.
We can talk through that setup.
So we post webinars on a regular basis. We try to do at least 2 for timers each month. So please look for that. They'll be in the newsletter, so you can also look at our upcoming webinars on our website under the knowledge base area.
All right. Welcome, new timers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to y'all soon.